Hey everyone, ready to jump into some LIC plans for 2024. We're going deep on 4 of them today.
Yeah, we'll be breaking down Jeevan Labh, Jeevan Anand, Jeevan Lakshya, and Jeevan Umang.
We're going way beyond basic term insurance with these. This is for people who want to invest and protect their families at the same time.
Exactly. We call these endowment plans.
Yeah.
You get life cover, but you're also building up to a nice lump sum payout when the plan matures.
Who doesn't love a payout, right? Let's start with LIC Jeevan Labh.
Okay, sounds good.
It's got this limited premium payment thing. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah. That's a popular one. Imagine this. You could get a 25-year plan, but only pay premiums for the first 16 years.
So you pay for 16 years and it covers you for 25.
Yep, like a sprint to financial freedom.
That makes sense. Front-loading those premium payments, what's the logic there?
It's great for those peak earning years. Frees up your cash flow later on, maybe to invest more or even retire early.
Now you're talking my language.
That.
All right, so that's Jeevan Labh, short and sweet, on the premium payments. Next, we've got LIC Jeevan Anand. Someone told me it covers you, wait for it, for life.
That's the one. Jeevan Anand, the gift that keeps on giving. It combines maturity benefit with life cover that continues up to age 100.
Wow, your loved ones would definitely have peace of mind with that. But practically speaking, what does that really mean, having that super long-term coverage?
Well, it means that even after the policy matures and that lump sum gets paid out, your family's still protected. It's about building a lasting legacy,
That's a powerful way to look at it. Let's move on to LIC Jeevan Lakshya.
Okay.
This one seems like it's for people who want that extra protection for their family, right?
Exactly. Think of it this way. Something happens to the policyholder. With Jeevan Lakshya, the family doesn't just get a one-time death benefit. They get a steady income, 10% of what the policy was worth, every year until the policy would have matured.
That's amazing, like a built-in financial safety net. So that regular income, that's what makes it an income benefit, right? Or different from the death benefit.
Exactly. One's a one-time thing, the other's a regular income stream to help cover those day-to-day expenses.
Incredibly valuable in a tough situation. All right, last but not least, we've got LIC Jeevan Umang.
Right.
If I'm right, this one's all about generating that guaranteed income, yeah?
You got it. LIC Jeevan Umang is designed for a lifetime of regular income. So picture this. You choose a policy, let's say 15 years. After that, you get guaranteed income every year, possibly even up to age 100.
Wait, a lifetime of income. Now that's planning for the future. This has got to be perfect for people thinking about retirement or wanting some extra income coming in.
Couldn't agree more. It gives a certain level of financial security and stability. It's a great option.
Okay, so we've got these 4 LIC plans with some very distinct features, but let's make this real. Let's say they're 35 years old and thinking about a 10 lakh policy. What kind of premiums and maturity benefits are we talking about here?
Okay, let's do it. Keep in mind, these are just examples based on the bonus rates right now. Those rates change, so talk to a financial advisor for personalized numbers. You never know.
For sure, always good to be careful, but for comparison's sake, let's dive in.
All right, so first up, Jeevan Labh. With a 25-year policy, 16-year premium payment term, you'd be looking at about $4,833 annually for those premiums.
Okay.
But here's the exciting part. After 25 years, you could be looking at a maturity benefit of around 26.25 lakhs.
Not bad at all. Done with premiums for almost a decade, and then boom, big payout. Okay, how about Jeevan Anand? Same thing, 35 years old, 10 lakh policy.
So with Jeevan Anand, the annual premium for a 25-year policy would be around $4,784.
Okay.
And the estimated maturity benefit after 25 years, about 26 lakhs.
But pretty similar to Jeevan Labh in terms of that maturity benefit, but with Jeevan Anand, that life cover keeps going even after that payout. That adds a whole other level of security, right? Okay, what about Jeevan Lakshya? How do the numbers look for that one?
For a 25-year Jeevan Lakshya plan, with a premium payment term of 22 years, the annual premium is estimated at around $44,527.
Okay, and the maturity benefit?
Around 26 lakhs, pretty similar to the other two.
Yeah.
But don't forget about that income benefit rider. If something were to happen, the nominee would receive 1 lakh every year until maturity.
It's like that safety net we were talking about, built right into the plan.
Exactly.
All right, last but not least, let's talk numbers for Jeevan Umang. Our 35-year-old friend goes with a 15-year policy. What are we looking at investment-wise?
Okay, so with Jeevan Umang, that first-year premium, including a 4.5% tax, is going to be about 20,000 Jumia.
Okay.
But don't let that first year scare you. From the second year on, it drops down to 8,226 annually because that tax component changes.
Gotcha. So a bit of a bigger initial investment, but then it settles into a more manageable annual premium.
Right.
For that, what kind of guaranteed income are we talking about after those 15 years?
With Jeevan Umang, you're guaranteed a lifetime annual income of 8,000 after that 15-year policy term, which means you're covered, even if you live to 100.
Okay, now that's impressive. And you mentioned something about a survival benefit if the policyholder makes it to 100.
Yeah, if you hit 100, there's a survival benefit of 95 lakhs, although it can fluctuate a bit depending on different factors at the time.
Wild. Each plan really has its own personality, its own little perks.
Yeah, and each one is going to appeal to different people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to figure out which plan is right for you, let's talk about who can even sign up for these things. Each one has some age ranges we should keep in mind, right?
Exactly. Eligibility is important.
So who can get in on Jeevan Labh?
Jeevan Labh has a pretty good range. It's from 8 to 59 years old.
So whether you're just starting out or about to retire, it could be an option.
Exactly.
Okay, how about Jeevan Anand?
Jeevan Anand is for those between 18 and 50 years old.
Okay, and Jeevan Lakshya.
Same as Jeevan Anand, 18 to 50.
And lastly, Jeevan Umang.
So with Jeevan Umang, you can actually get coverage for a child as young as 90 days old.
Wow, really?
But the maximum entry age is 55.
Wow, they really do have a plan for everyone. Now, I know we've been using a 10 lakh policy as our example, but is there a minimum or maximum someone can go for with these LIC plans?
Yeah, the sum assured, as they call it, that can all be adjusted based on what you can afford and what your goals are.
Makes sense.
Each plan has a minimum sum assured, but the maximum really depends on things like your income and your overall financial situation. LIC wants to make sure you're not getting in over your head, you know.
That's responsible of them. So what are those minimum sum assured amounts?
For Jeevan Anand, Jeevan Lakshya, and Jeevan Umang, it's 1 lakh.
And for Jeevan Labh?
Jeevan Labh is a little higher, at 2 lakhs.
Good to know. Now, let's shift gears one more time and talk about those policy terms. How long are we talking about with these plans?
Another good question. So policy term, that's all about how long you're covered. With Jeevan Labh, you can pick between 16 to 25 years.
So 25 years of coverage if you max it out. And remember, with Jeevan Labh, you're only paying premiums for a shorter time within that time frame.
Exactly. It's all about options.
Love it. Okay, what about Jeevan Anand? What are the policy terms like there?
With Jeevan Anand, you're looking at a range of 15 to 35 years for your policy term.
Okay, and Jeevan Lakshya?
Jeevan Lakshya is flexible. Policy terms start at 13 years and go up to 25.
Oh, interesting. You could actually go for a shorter policy term with Jeevan Lakshya compared to the others.
You got it.
Okay, last but not least, tell me about the policy terms for Jeevan Umang.
With Jeevan Umang, the policy terms range from 15 to 30 years.
This is great. We covered a ton of info, different features, possible returns, who's eligible, policy terms. LIC really seems to have a plan for almost every need.
They do, and that's what's so great. Everyone's different. These plans show that.
I totally agree. Now, before we move on, I want to touch on those premium payment terms again, especially for Jeevan Labh, since it's such a big selling point. Can you break that down a little further for us?
Sure. Say you decide on a 25-year Jeevan Labh policy, right?
Yeah.
With that limited premium payment feature, you wouldn't have to make payments for that whole time.
Right.
You could choose a shorter premium payment term, maybe 16 years, and just pay for that period.
So you pay for 16, but you're covered for all 25.
That's right.
That's awesome. Like a weight off your shoulders financially in those later years.
That's the idea.
I love it. Now, with Jeevan Labh, those premium payment terms, those are set based on the policy term you pick, right? What about the other plans? Is there any flexibility there?
With Jeevan Anand, the premium payment term usually matches whatever policy term you choose, so 25-year policy, 25 years of premium payments.
So pretty straightforward with Jeevan Anand. How about Jeevan Lakshya? Any wiggle room there?
Jeevan Lakshya is more flexible. Usually, the premium payment term is a few years shorter than the policy term. So for a 25-year Jeevan Lakshya policy, you might only pay premiums for 22 years.
It's like a nice little bonus at the end. A few years without those premium payments. I like the sound of that. What about Jeevan Umang?
Jeevan Umang is like Jeevan Anand. The premium payment term usually lines up with the policy term you choose.
This is so helpful. LIC has really gone above and beyond here, offering so much for people in different situations.
They understand that everyone's financial journey is different. And these plans, they reflect that.
It's amazing how each plan has these little details that can make such a big difference.
It's true. People need to really look at that stuff.
Definitely. You have to go deeper than just surface level, right?
Exactly. Make sure you look at the specifics, see how they fit into your own financial plans. That's how you make a good decision.
Well said. It seems like LIC has really tried to make plans for all sorts of people.
They get it. The financial world. It's not one size fits all. People have different comfort levels with risk, different goals, different everything. These plans are a perfect example of that.
This has been eye-opening, exploring these LIC plans, everything from potential returns to those little details. We covered a lot. What's your biggest piece of advice for our listeners today?
Don't rush it. That's my main thing. Take your time, do your research, and talk to a financial advisor.
Yeah.
They can really help you get the full picture.
So true. You've got to know your stuff, especially when it comes to your financial future, right?
For sure.
Okay, before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about choosing the right life insurance, how it should fit your financial goals. But here's a thought. When was the last time you even thought about those goals? Life changes things. Your priorities might be different now. Your dreams might change. So while you're looking at these LIC plans, think about what you need now. What do you want to achieve? It's about having a financial plan that grows with you.
Love that. It's a journey, not a destination, right?
Exactly. And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the world of LIC plans. We hope you learned a lot, maybe got a little inspired too. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep striving for that financial peace. Until next time, everyone.